What is up, guys? 96 out
No one
here
in here.
with the JoJo
No one watching
broadcast.
it.
Okay,
Messed up.
whatever. People are gonna see this later. King Recon and stuff like that. So I'm here with the JoJo broadcast. I don't know if there's anyone else doing this. Like we discussed before, it's not that popular of a story in the anime community. So we're gonna do it because of our love for JoJo. So if you guys could introduce yourselves each. Also, there'll be other people coming soon, like Jerry Moosle or Underrated Games. So keep in touch. So Jeffrey, how you introduce yourself?
Um,
Jeffrey.
Wait a second. Wait a second. My audio fucked up. Just wait up.
okay, let's skip Jeffrey.
Alright, let's get Jeffrey. JoJo.
All right, well, I guess I just like changed my name for like JX5 to like JoJo a couple weeks ago. I don't really do anything like on YouTube. I
Yeah.
just like browse. I'm just like a normal viewer.
Right. Let me give a special introduction to Paul here.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
who's the guy who introduced me to JoJo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this guy right next.
How's it going, bro? It's me, PewDiePie here. I you know me, YouTube connoisseur and all.
Alright, do I finally introduce myself now?
Yeah.
Alright, what happened was I had the thing open in another browser, so I was hearing a huge delay, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. Alright, my name is Jeffrey JLong908. Don't subscribe to my channel. I'm a JoJo Tard. You could call me JoLong908 just for the stream.
Joe Long. All right.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, call me Chinch Joe, whatever, man. Like, listen, we all here are admirers of JoJo series. I'll give my introduction to JoJo, like I said with Paul Bryn here. He's the one who showed me JoJo because I hadn't talked to him for a while, and then after a while we haven't talked to each other, and then the first thing we started talking about was anime, and I think that was one of his first recommendations. So I was reading basically like Naruto or One Piece, stuff like that, and then it came to actually trying out JoJo and stuff like that. So I started trying part 1, part 2. Part 1 was good, but I thought part 2 is really got me to JoJo. Yeah, because that the intelligence of Joseph Joestar was really what got to me.
Yes, dude. Oh, I think like nobody had a worse situation than him. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, because like I mean, his opponents were like unbelievable. Like the way he took out. Okay, let's not go there. All right, go. Yeah,
and then part 3, that whole like world adventure, and then part 4 is what got me hooked. Part 4 is when I knew this was like legendary. This is gonna be something great. Yeah, part 4, man. Part 5, but the rest was great.
Okay.
And and then forever I was like in love with that. All right, I think Jeremy's coming in soon. So. What about you guys? How you guys learn about JoJo? I really want to hear you guys how you got into JoJo.
I mean, I started hearing a lot, some of it from like a friend, but then like I guess like because I used to have like first period in school, so we used to like talk about it a little bit, but then like we had our classes switched, so we didn't talk about it. I mean, at first I was kind of like whatever because of like the art kind of like scared me away, but then like now I like it. Now I'm like, wow, this guy puts in work. For example, like the abstract kind of art, that really gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like at first, like the first JoJo didn't even like appeal to me because he's all like classy, he has like manners and stuff, Jonathan. So I was like, eh. But then like Joseph,
Joseph was just crazy. He was great, man, because
he's like super intelligent. Like that really got to me. I was like, whoa.
And he had a lot of personality to his character, so that was great,
Yeah.
And he goes on for the other parts and everything. How about you, Jeffrey? Same story, right? With me, we're both on the same chat, basically.
Pretty much his story, but I found out about JoJo way before I even got back into anime. I was like, look, I was obsessed with Street Fighter, right? The Street Fighter fighting games. So like, I used to look at these Capcom games. They let me play a new fighter. I played all like Marvel vs. Capcom, shit like that. And I came across this weird ass looking thing called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Didn't think much of it. Years later, I come across Alvaro on Twitter or Facebook, and he writes something about JoJo. I get back into anime, and I'm like, let me watch something short. I saw the OVA first, English dub, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But all I knew was the fights were the shit. So then when I meet Alvaro again, he tells me to watch the full series. I do it. I watched the first 2 parts. Once I started watching part 3, it hooked me even more than I was already after part 2. Because I took like almost a month break in between 2 and 3.
Right.
That's how I got into JoJo.
Yeah, man. And I want to hear Paul or Avra, whatever he wants to be called in this stream, how you got introduced to JoJo.
So, it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I was like in the whole like Facebook page thing, and a bunch of people were sharing, I guess, like scenes from it, from the anime.
Right.
And one in particular was the squirrel scene, where like Cars changes his hands to a squirrel, and then that made me go search for it, but there wasn't like all the like the subs sucked and everything. I couldn't really find it, so I was like, all right, well, I'll watch it when it gets properly subbed. Then my friends in the Skype club, they're all like, oh dude, yeah, it's nice. We said it's really hyped for it, and I'm like, oh, is that the thing? And they're like, yeah. So then there, like, I watched all of it, and then yeah, that's my story behind it. Yeah, just friends. And
I think we all started through the anime. Like we didn't. I didn't read part 1 or part 2 of manga. I just went to the anime. Then part 3.
I did both.
Yeah, I didn't do both. I want to check out because since the JoJonium thing came out, I want to check out now the part 1 manga because.
Right. So does the manga deviate a lot from? I mean, does the anime deviate a lot from like the manga?
No,
I think like 1 or 2 scenes out.
I've heard. Yeah. I think the JoJo anime they took out the famous meme. Even speed wagons of rain.
What it did. The only big differences is it's really minute details, like when they're crossing the river to get to the kid, and like Zappelli is like he's like, oh, use your Hammond or your ripple to like walk on the water. In the manga, I mean in the anime, it just shows
Heavily.
Yeah, Jonathan and Will and Zappelli walking through it, and the manga it shows like Speedwagon trying to do it, he like falls in the river, and then it shows like Zappelli like punching Speedwagon like try to activate the Hammond, but it doesn't work out. Like it's really minute details that don't really matter.
Right, yeah.
I know there's a scene in part 2 in the volumes, right, where I think Joseph goes to the mailroom and he starts beating up a mailman or something like that. I heard they took that scene out of the anime.
Yeah, there's like a scene where they get confronted and some dudes try to steal the what's the thing called the stone Lisa has.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, and in the manga it's like some dudes are like, hey, that's a really nice stone, I'm gonna steal it, and then I think Joseph comes in and like beats the shit out of them, but it's like a 5-page thing, so it's not like it mattered.
Yeah. I think what I've heard is that, like you said, it's minor details, but of course part 2 is the closest to manga anime transition. When it went to manga to anime. Part 3 now it's in the 2nd season now. I think it's great. I don't know. I only started reading the part 3 manga when I finished the 1st season. And there was no 2nd season yet, so I just waited till I just read the manga until the 2nd season comes out. So I haven't read. I don't know if there's any manga or anime differences between part 3 and the anime. Now the OVA, that's a different story. The OVA was strange.
They cut out a lot of fat in that OVA.
Yeah, they did.
It's too serious too. If you watch it in Japanese.
I mean,
it's a clown.
Even with the normal anime, the one that's going on right now, they don't remove stuff. They add stuff. If you notice. Like they never really go into detail about Susie and everything.
Right. Also, guys,
Jeremy. Oh shit.
Yeah, sorry. Jeremy already came in, so if you want to introduce yourself, Jeremy.
Yo, I'm a goat. That's it.
True.
How did you get into JoJo's, Jeremy?
What?
How do you get into
What got you
JoJo?
into the series?
Oh, because one day me and my buddy were just chilling, and he likes anime too. We're just like, it was like late at night, came back, chilling, and we're like, hey, we'll find something on Crunchyroll. When I was looking for something, he fell asleep, and I was like, what is this JoJo? I thought it was gonna be some crime show. I was like, I'll check it out for a minute. And I watched like 7 episodes straight, bro.
Yeah, it's good, man. No, I mean, we were discussing like how you really start getting to JoJo when it comes to like part 2, and to me, since like you can even see in the anime how in part 1 and part 2 that they're like just one season together. I guess you could just call them a counterpart, or just make part 2, just make part 1 just an introduction, really. I mean,
That's all part 1 really is, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, really, because I mean, it's how many chapters? Like 40 or something you said, and
Yeah, like in total, part 1 and part 2 are like 100, 110 chapters.
yeah, so that's it.
That's not even like that's
Yeah.
combined. That's not even like longer than part 3 in its entirety.
That is true.
So the only thing they cut out was just like stuff that would have messed up with the format, the length of the series, you know?
Yeah, just things of little importance.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this is what we're gonna plan to do. We're gonna plan to go from part 1 to part 8. Of course, some guys are gonna have to mute their microphones because some of them are still not caught up. But we'll be discussing the parts, what we like about them, what we hate about them. There's especially one that seems to be like controversial. And yeah, so let's start from part 1. Part 1, okay, again, like we were discussing, it was just an introductory. If anything, it's very much like Fist of the North Star.
I like to call it Fist of the Joe Star. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I get it. I haven't seen Fist of the North Star yet, but I can see just looking at the main character of Fist of the North Star and looking at Johnson Joestar, I can already see the comparison between the two. They look a lot alike. I think actually the first 3 JoJos look a lot like the Fist of the North Star. What's his name? Kenshiro. Like what I heard from my friend Greenhoff is that they even the auras come from Fist of the North Star. The aura that came from
The battle cries.
the battle cries. Yeah, it came from Fist of the North Star too. You know.
I think his was Atatata. I don't think it was Aura.
No, no. I think there's another character in Fist of the North Star that goes or. I'm not sure. Whatever. But yeah. So part 1 was just like that. Let's talk about our favorite characters of part 1. Who's you guys' favorite characters?
There's that many characters to choose.
I think it's easy for me, man. I think it's
Dio Brando, bro.
I mean, Dio Brando's the only character that's important in part 1, bro. What do you mean? And Speedwagon.
I don't know, man. What about Speedwagon?
I mean, if
I said Speedwagon too, because he got the Speedwagon Foundation.
you think about it, Speedwagon is the most helpful character from part 1 through part 6.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
He's the most helpful character.
he's the most relevant in terms of like his name. Even though he's dead, that dude be helping, bro. He got the Speedwagon Foundation, bro.
Right. Oh, quick question, Jeremy. Underrated game. Can you send him a link or no?
Yeah, I can.
Alright, just there. No, I think he said he'll be right back, so we don't know. So yeah, look, Speedwagon, I think like what Abro said, he's like the most influential. He helps all the main characters even till like what part? Like
Part 6.
Part 6 till the stuff happens. And yeah, I guess like Speedwagon. He had like I think he was the narrator of part 1. Really, he's narrating and everything.
I mean, at first, go Paul.
Oh yeah. So my theory as to why, so like, it doesn't really translate well into the anime because the anime it's like visual and shit is moving. But my theory why Araki put him in there and the reason why he's the way he is like he's like narrating everything. He's pretty much his position. Is because
Which one is this time?
essentially because I think Araki just wasn't that good at drawing action or like movement and
I
stuff.
think we just can't put our shoes anymore.
So like Araki was, I mean,
Or
Speed
not, I
Wagon
mean,
was a way of like
well, if you choose them, won't get.
just
That's
saying
all my
what
season
the
bro.
fuck was going on, you know,
Besides the costumes, I don't care about those.
No,
and
man.
like
Like,
still fitting it into the story and like fitting into his character.
no, man. When it comes to like some stuff in the manga, I need to see animated because I get confused, especially
Yeah.
something in
Like
part
a bad
5.
day
You
can
know?
actually Gable.
Yeah, so I feel like that's why he put Speed Wagon there, more or less.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
They cut him out of that
okay, what's
bullshit
the
movie.
quarters?
Things that you guys didn't like. Things you
Well,
Who's in the quarters?
Fights. I didn't care
I
for
mean,
the fights at all. To be
at first I was kind of, when the Speedway showed up, I was like excited because you know he looked like kind of like a thug, like the way he
Yeah.
like
honest.
tried to fight, you know, Jonathan.
Yeah.
But then later, I think he became like irrelevant because like later he was just carrying around like the equipment, like he was
Right.
carrying around Jonathan's sword.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
was like, what's up? You know, what happened to like
Yeah.
all the crazy, you know,
yeah,
strong
I
men?
get you. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
he's
you,
like
man.
the number one thug in like Ogre Street, and he becomes like the little helper.
Nah, I know, but he had personality. I like that.
But he has
Anyway,
The dude got attacked in the second round by James Green.
yo, man, like I'm telling you.
I have
Speaking of the
that
fight,
that year.
I mean, like when part 1 happened, like I liked it.
No,
But
I like Jordan.
I thought it at the same level. Like,
Yeah, I think in the quarters.
I didn't
Those
think
are-
too much about JoJo. You know.
So those are lost. He got pinned.
Yeah,
So-
for me, I mean, I think my least favorite part about part 1
Cool
is
cash.
the
Oh,
way it sort of
I have
like it feels really generic.
Evans.
Like
Yeah,
it feels like
yeah.
it's been done to death the whole. I'm
Evans
Japanese,
did beat Lucas Foley, bro.
but again, it's like an introduction to the series, and
Right.
at the time that was like what was popular, what was sort of new, so I can forgive it.
Thomas set, baby.
I didn't like how short it was too. I really think we could have gotten to know.
Dude,
these-
Quartz is in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, I always felt like Jonathan was sort of like the like now he's like the
Are they?
judge that's like just pushed to the side
Oh, I see online.
because he's just like he's more or less like
I see online.
nothing too special about him other than the fact that he's like the first one.
Right. Hold on a sec. Jeremy. Yo, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking to someone else.
Yeah, I was. My bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So now let's move to part 2. Part 2.
Wait. Hey, we didn't even talk about the ending of part 1.
Okay, you want to also talk? Yeah, let's give an overview. So you meet
Yeah, the ending
Jonathan.
problem.
All right, so it's basically a story of the two people, Jonathan Joestar and Dio Brando. Of course, I don't know why you're not. If you're watching this broadcast, I don't know why you didn't know that, or you watch JoJo. But I'll tell you anyways. Jonathan Joestar, Dio Brando, they live together and they do not like each other. Then we start the game bizarre when Hammond comes. No, vampirism comes in.
The stone mask.
The stone mask. Then you get I can never pronounce it right.
Just call it Ripper. Just call it Ripper.
Hamon, like ham for Spanish, but the Pele and then all that stuff. There were some moments that I could say that like preludes to like the humor that comes in later, like when Jonathan Joestar's like, "Wow, I could even lift this rock." Like he had a rock out of nowhere, you know. So that's the humor came out like that, and you got also and then you got they go. See, it wasn't that very adventurous because what they only went to like 2 places.
Yeah.
They were so short. They only went to like a town. No, they went to Ogre Street. Then they went to like a canyon area or something like that. Then
Did they leave the UK? Was it all set in the UK?
no, it was all in the
It was
UK.
all in the UK, yeah.
Yeah, all UK. And then you got
Possibly one of the greatest villains of all time, Dio Brando.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
He's just pure fucking evil.
he's evil. Yeah,
He's the definition of evil.
I mean, like the way what really got to me was the way he was trying to like kind of like mentally torture Jonathan when they were growing up. You know, like everything he did to him. For example, like killing his dog. I believe he burned him, right?
Yo,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
burned
he burned
him
him
alive.
alive.
how he took away Irina's first kiss. I was like, dang, this dude. Because like I mean, back in the day, like the way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like back in the day, like you will kiss your wife on the first day you got married, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
before people used to marry at like the age of 18, so it was like young love, they get married right away. So the first kiss was like during their wedding ceremony. Exactly.
Yeah. And then
So
pretty much like I guess that you can consider that as a rape. I believe.
Yeah, kind of is.
it was,
Kinda
man.
rapping, for sure.
And it was so disgusting. She washes her mouth with like dirty water, and he
Yeah.
got like offended. That's where you see his true colors. You know, well, you saw his true colors before, but like his anger, his
Like,
weakness.
I mean,
really
like,
feel
but the
bad for
way
him, man.
he went about it, you know, that's what got to me. I was like, whoa, this guy's serious.
Yeah, this guy is scary, man. Like
Like,
Dio Brando's scary, man.
His father was just a piece of shit. So
Right.
the piece of how big of a piece of shit his father was, that shittiness transferred all the way into his son. His
Right.
son didn't give a fuck about. Dio didn't give a fuck about when his dad died or not.
Nah, man. He spit on his grave.
I think he was happy, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he spit on his grave, dude.
And his dad was just a piece of shit, robbing a quote unquote dead person and not reporting it to the police.
But he did love his mother.
Oh yeah.
He did love his mother, so that's one thing. That's like his one attribute.
He was born to
But
he was born to
good attribute. I mean, but not like good person attribute. But other than that, he's just a cruel person. You know. I mean, even when let's move ahead. So he meets Jonathan. Joe starts meeting over people like Sapelli. His dad died. He loved his dad, so he started. He I don't know what happened. I don't remember exactly. So his dad died, and then what happened?
I mean, he got poisoned. He was being poisoned by Dio, right?
Yeah,
Right,
and then
Or something like that.
yeah, and then he was gonna kill Jonathan, but his dad got in the way of the stabbing.
Exactly.
Right. And then after that, like he was just walking or something. He saw Sapelli. Is that how it happened?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was working with.
Yeah, with
Arena,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was recovering. Yeah.
He already has Speedwagon as a bud by that point because he earned his respect on Ogre Street. Then he has his own collective of friends. Not of course like later on in the other parts where they like become a huge group of friends. But like yeah, he had Speedwagon, he had Zappelli. Those are like his two friends, and of course Danny. But you know what happened to Danny. But
Oh, come on.
I know, it was sad, man.
And
what's more messed up is that if you look at the JoJonium back cover, you see Dio with Danny on his back.
Danny,
it's kind of like a spit in the face, man.
Yeah, it is.
Being so
But
kind to Danny.
Araki said in the interview inside the JoJonium volume was that, I didn't have more space to fit characters, so I just put them together. He should have just put him with Jonathan. That would have been better. But whatever. So yeah. So he goes to his journey to defeat Dio. He meets a guy named, what was his name? Toto or something like that?
Poco, something like that. I think it's Poco.
Poco.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the kid, yeah.
Yeah, he saves a town and everything. Like that's just like that'd be like a little arc, and if you compare it to the other parts, that's just like a little arc. But that's like the whole story.
That's when it became generic to me. That's when it started becoming kind of generic, in my opinion. When it started doing all that. I didn't really care for the action in this part, to be honest.
No. And the strategic fighting, what sets it up, what the fighting setting it apart from other shonen, that doesn't happen in part one. It's just fist fighting, power up, overdrive, all that stuff. So finally he has his final confrontation with Dio. He wins. He thinks he defeats Dio completely, but then on a honeymoon trip to America, Dio comes back as a head. And
Yeah.
I never got that. Would he already regenerated, or does he need his other body parts?
It's
I
like
think he could regenerate.
He needs the rest of the body.
Right. And
I mean, I don't. He doesn't regenerate. It pretty much like the body goes back together. That's the way it works, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, and shit does not go well. Arena leaves with a baby girl, and then that was the introduction to Joestar. So what could happen next? And what happened next was part 2.
Yeah. And she's pregnant. Well, she promised it.
Yeah, what happened next was part 2, Battle Tendency, and greatness happened.
Dude, it
Greatness
starts off
happened.
with a bang. This series, part 2, just starts off with a bang because it took me a while to. I like JoJo right when the first episode ended, but when part 2 started, that's when I just got hooked. Once we see.
Oh yeah, I got hooked. Same thing with my friend Greenhawk, man. He got hooked right when part 2. He's like, oh yeah, it was pretty sad that I did the part 1. But when part 2 happened and he beat those 2 cops with just a Coke bottle.
Yeah. New York's JoJo's the shit.
Yeah, that's when I knew it was, and his personality, man, it was funny. He brought, like, you didn't expect it. The most unexpected thing that happened in that, I saw the episode. I didn't read the manga, like I said. In the episode, like, just, how he just basically just took out a Tommy gun in the middle of the streets and just shot down that vampire guy. Like, he doesn't care.
Straights from part 1.
He doesn't care, man. He
Yeah.
does not care, man. He's great. So before we get the overview, or should we give the overview and then we talk about our favorite characters?
let's
do
get
that.
overview.
All right, so it follows the grandson of Jonathan Joestar, his name being Joseph Joestar. Of course, going again with the theme of JoJo with their names. Of course, you should already know that. But anyways, it basically follows Joseph Joestar around his arrival in New York City. What happened? Like, he discovers the Pillar Men. I don't remember parts. Actually, damn, I forgot.
Speedwagon Foundation finds a Pillar Man in Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
We forgot to mention the music references, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
That's
Santana,
right.
look, if you're into rock or just electric guitar, you gotta know who Carlos Santana is, and this character is named off of Carlos Santana.
It's Speedwagon, man. REO Speedwagon. Robert Edward O. Speedwagon.
Well, how about ACDC? Who are they? I'm like,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Of course, this has led to copyright infringements towards Araki and his series. So when it comes animated or anything, he has to fix some stuff up. So it turns to ACD. So
Yeah.
ACDC. You can even hear it when it's speaking. Even if you're listening to it in sub, if it's sub, you can hear in Japanese that he's saying ACDC.
Yeah,
Like
no,
what's happening in part 3, where it just it says, yeah.
the one from like ACDC to ACDC, it was just an asshole because they're like, all right, let's just change this up. The letters, like the actual pronunciation of the word, but then there's like Wham, they made it to Wamu. Hard, it's like with a K, and then Santana was like, they changed it completely to like Svinsinen or some shit like that. So like
Did they change
it.
Cars though? Cars didn't change, did it?
Cars,
Well-
no, they just gave him a K instead of a C.
Yeah, that's right. The car, okay. And yeah, so he discovers Pillar Man, saves Speedwagon from Mexico,
Saves anime.
but he meets what he thought was gonna be the most powerful villain, Santana. He defeats him, and he thought, oh, it's all good. But then he takes a visit to Caesar Sapelli. He meets another Sapelli. The first Sapelli died tragically in the first part 1, and part 2 he meets his grandson, which I was surprised because did they ever even talk about him being in relations with a woman? I don't remember. that.
Yeah, I think so, if I remember correctly.
Maybe in the manga, but I don't remember in the anime. And and the grandson, and then they become like I don't say best friends because they're kind of rivals, but
Yeah.
they become boys. And
Boys.
and then yeah, they discovered these ancient beings called the Pillar Men, who also created what we know as vampires in JoJo. And
Stroheim.
yes, definitely.
Stroheim.
Stroheim.
But let's talk about that when we get to the last, our favorite characters, because Stroheim is the best boy. But they go on cut to abridge it a bit. One of the Pillar Men puts a ring inside Joseph Joestar's heart, and they must battle later on. So they start training. And in Italy, there's this lady called Lisa that he starts training with. Unbeknownst to him, she's actually very important to him because the relations. Yeah, this is the overview. Yeah, and so finally the day of fighting comes, or no, they fight before that, don't they? Because cars came in Switzerland.
Italy.
Yeah, it's ACDC tries to infiltrate Lisa's place. They fight there, and then Joseph gets the first sort of antidote for one of the rings he has.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he peeps into Lisa's shower. Nice.
Uh,
And then, then I forgot what it was. They left, I think, to go to where they were, the Pillarmen, or something like that. I forgot why they left, but yeah, then they fight in Switzerland. They go up against Wamu or whatever, and yeah.
right. Yeah. Exactly. You know. Yeah. I really love part two, man, because the story just kept going good and good. Because of all the JoJo parts, it became very good. Hold on a second.
Yeah, part 2 is when strategy started coming back into started coming into play in the series.
I mean, I don't know if it's more of an asshole instead of strategy, because it's like he's like Joseph is like near death, and then he's like, aha, but you didn't realize I made a fucking spider web around this whole thing, and then
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man, he always thinks of amazing plans. Nah, so finally they go to Switzerland. I forgot, why did they go to Switzerland again? I forgot.
It was like to find the like to like
Stone of
Asha
Asha.
battle
Yeah.
to them or something like that.
Find the Stone of Asha. I remember that now. And then Cars ended up there, and then Caesar. I forgot why Caesar just stormed into the mansion where they were obviously hiding. And
I think it was because Wamu killed his dad.
I think no,
That was
yeah,
a flashback,
his
Oh
dad.
yeah, because like
Yeah, his dad was consumed by the Pillarmen. That's right. So yeah, you get that, and then of course Caesar dies. The most saddest death I've ever seen in JoJo.
Yeah.
Really. That was sad. Because you're like, okay, finally, okay, they're gonna move on, but then of course the blood starts spilling and just like Caesar, it's so sad. Exactly, and by that point they already have been like friends and everything, so it was really sad to see that. Even Lisa cried, and she's considered unemotional. And they reached their final matches. It's gonna be Joseph Joestar versus Wamu, and Wamu who killed Caesar Sapel. And
Did he lag out for a second?
I think he did.
Yeah, he liked that. Yeah. Good old Finch.
All right, what do we do now?
Oh, yeah.
Like that?
Well, anyway.
So, what really got to me was, for example, cause like when Caesar was introduced, at first I think like it was told that he hated his father because he was not there for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So,
right.
and then his mother died, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then like the way he found out that his father actually protected him, that it was like the guy who like saved him, because I was like, dang, plot twist.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when I first met Caesar, I'm like, oh, this guy is obviously not gonna be like, he's gonna be like a rival type of character.
Yeah.
It's, Naruto and Sasuke type of thing going on. But yeah. So I forgot how it led, because wasn't Lisa and Car supposed to fight and then something happened?
I think he cheated.
Yeah, Cars like cheated, and I forgot what he did to cheat. But it was like he went back on his word. So then that had to like make Joseph intervene into the fight, and then the Nazis got there.
Stroheim.
Yeah.
And basically, you discovered that Lisa is Joseph Joestar's mother. Big reveal. I was kind of spoiled that beforehand, and that wasn't YouTube. That was my own fault. Wikipedia. I apologize for that. But
I kind of had a feeling because I saw someone say she was old on YouTube, but I didn't know that she was related to the Joestar bloodline.
I did wonder who that baby was, like how that baby from part 1 led on.
Yeah.
So I discovered through that.
Yeah,
And,
we forgot to mention that Erina, she also saved a random baby whose mother.
No, I mentioned that.
Yeah.
You mentioned that?
Yeah.
Erina saved the baby, and then she was pregnant with
Yeah.
George Joestar?
George
Yeah.
Joestar.
George Joestar, who tragically died early. Also, the part 2 also the main theme, I guess, is the breaking of a curse. breaking your curse of the Joestar, because the Joestar family has been known to die early on.
Yeah.
So
Well,
luckily in this part, so let me continue. Let me finish this off. So to abridge it, Kars becomes immortal through the Redstone of Asha. Hamon doesn't work on him. He's like the ultimate vampire who has Hamon, and he's immortal. So like you
The sun
can't
can
think
affect him.
Yeah.
the sun can't affect them. And of course, there's only one thing to do, and that's the Joestar technique. I can't do the translation though. Wasirario or whatever it was. Running away. You know exactly. And somehow, some way, because he's such a great JoJo, he still defeats Cars. Very lucky though. Very
It
lucky.
was like very
Volcano.
convenient. Like the way
yeah, man.
Things
A
right
volcano
now,
just
yeah.
throws him up into space, and as a defense mechanism, his body freezes.
Yeah, and
Blowing
then
air from eternity.
Cars is forever immortal in the
yeah,
cold space, and you just stop thinking.
that is like worse than death.
Yeah, man. Horrible.
I mean,
horrible.
You think
This
he's
is,
conscious during that? You think so?
Hmm?
You think he's conscious when he's frozen, right?
Yeah.
He's conscious, but then they
That's
state that
crazy, guys.
soon after, he just said he stopped thinking.
Dude.
So did he die? I don't know.
Dude,
No,
look,
it's-
how he feels is like me waiting for the next JoJo Leon chapter. Just
That
waiting.
Man, that reminds me of part 4, man. That poor, not the poor guy, but like that guy who turns into a rock, like early on.
oh
Actually,
yeah.
that guy's forever a stone. So
See, because the thing I realized about JoJo, this is kind of getting ahead of the topic, but everyone except Dio receives a horrible death, or something like that, because
What?
Dio just dies. Dio just dies. That's it. He was like the worst one. He essentially fucked everyone over. You know, hey, fucked everyone over. He essentially like every part goes back to Dio and what Dio did, and he receives like the easiest death. He just dies. Everyone else, it's like eternal suffering, and all they wanted was like a peaceful life.
You mean the villains, not
Yeah,
just
the
every
villains.
character? Because
I mean the villains, because like
yeah, he just died. Like I mean,
yeah, Dio
it was a painful death. I will not deny
yeah,
that.
I know, but like Diavolo is like in an eternal suffering.
Hey.
Yeah, let's wait, man.
So, should we just talk about our favorite shit in this chapter?
Yeah, let's go. All right, favorite character, Joseph Joestar.
Favorite character, Lisa.
I'd
Paul?
say favorite character, Smokey Brown.
Wow, man.
Wow.
No, just
He
kidding.
was cool. He was cool.
He was
alright.
cool.
He was
I don't
cool,
know,
but
like Stroheim or Joseph. One of them
Wait, what are we talking about?
favorite characters.
favorite
Oh.
character.
Yeah, Stroheim or Joseph for me. I
Joseph
can't
was
pick.
Joseph was amazing,
Oh.
man.
Man.
That part, man. I remember little, but I remember greatness.
Joseph was so dexterous, man.
Joseph was what?
Dexterous, man. Like, he was just, his dexterity was like leagues above everyone else's. He was just
Oh,
that
of
cool.
course.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think like no other JoJo so far. I mean, part 7, guys, has had like a harder challenge than Joseph.
What do you mean by that?
Because pretty much, like, think about it this way: like, pretty much everybody else, like, when they're fighting against your villains, they have a way to where they can like work with their skill to like do something else. You know, for example, whether it's a stand or like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph pretty much only had like
Yeah.
I'm on like the ripple, but not even that worked against Cars. So I mean,
Yeah.
he got lucky though.
And Gars was impossibly. He was like
Yeah.
next to Poochie, he's like the most strongest villain ever.
And Joseph had, Joseph, he had the rings in his heart, so he was under more pressure than anyone else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because his intellect that helped him.
Not only was it the world, it was his life as well.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even have to confront them. He would have died if he would have done it.
I just feel like from beginning to end, part 2 just felt perfect because
Yeah.
it just ended off right. Him just putting on the Walkman and listening to Get Back.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was perfect, man. It was perfect, really. From beginning to end. Least favorite character.
Mm,
Least favorite
I don't
character.
have a least favorite, man.
I'd say for me, if I had to pick one, I'd say Cars because I feel like
Mm,
as far as the villains go, he was probably like my least favorite
I
because
guess.
he was just like, I want to take over the world. Why do you want to take over the world? Fucking, I just want to do it. Can't stop me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Santana. It's Santana for me.
What?
Was he even
Santana.
a character?
He was yeah, exactly.
He
So
had no
that's
characterization, so.
yeah. So least favorite character, Santana.
Uh,
I thought he was gonna come back. I thought he was gonna come back when I was watching part two. I'm like, oh
Oh yeah,
shit.
like because they sort of hinted at it. It's like, oh, get a, you can only
Le-
stay alive if we keep the
Yeah.
lights on him.
Okay. So part
I, I, li-
two.
I like
Great.
Lisa Lisa. Like Lisa Lisa is an innovative character. Like she inspired two characters that are very prominent in anime. She inspired Tsunade and she inspired that bitch Biscuit.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Pretty
Wow.
much
the
works on it.
same way Biscuit helped the main protagonists in Hunter
Oh.
x Hunter, they already knew their inner energy, which is Nen. She taught them how to master it, just like Lisa Lisa taught um, both of them how to master their hormone. And
Right.
they're both
Right.
50-year-old ladies in bodies that are younger.
Yeah,
I mean, Lisa just
Crazy.
looks young. I mean, Tsunade used the jutsu to look young, and
Yeah, but
Biscuit used.
I'm talking about in
And
concept. In
yeah,
concept.
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, purpose. Yeah, Lisa was the first. So let's go to part three, I guess. I mean, part two is enough said. It's great. I love part two. That's when I started getting to JoJo. That's when I thought it was greatness. That's when I couldn't stop watching it. So part three. I watched. That's when I started diverging to the manga because I watched the first season of part
Oh yeah.
three, and then I moved to the manga because season two hadn't come out yet, and I thought it was really enjoyable reading the manga, so I just, of course, kept reading the manga, and it became greatness. I'm not gonna talk. Let's not give a whole overview. Let's
There's
just
not
because
really much there.
we're not gonna go through every fight and everything. No, so I give it very simple. Okay,
Can I give you overview?
yeah, sure.
All right.
Into.
Part three. Years later, we have Joseph Joestar. He's an old folk. He's been slightly practicing his hormone, so he still looks pretty fit for a man his age. He goes to Japan to visit his wife, who's married to a Japanese jazz musician, right?
And his daughter?
His daughter, yeah, you're right, yeah. So, Holly Kujo, her son Jotaro is pretty much kind of like a carbon copy of the previous two JoJo's, a big ass dude, but he's a Japanese high school student, and he's a delinquent pretty much. He doesn't give a fuck. He's the most badass and honest person out there. If he doesn't like you, he'll tell you to fuck off. He'll walk out of a restaurant if he doesn't like the food. He'll tell his mom he's a bitch if she's acting stupid. He has no barriers. So he's in jail, right? And the reason he's in jail is because he's been acting up, and something strange has been occurring to his body, and some weird occurrences have been happening, and that that strange thing was the stand. So what's his face? Joseph comes with Muhammad Abdul, another stand user, and they pretty much bail his grandson out. And the reason they're getting these stands is because Dio, who is now in control of Joseph Joestar's body from the casket from part one. Since he has a stand, it's transferring to all of his relatives. So Jotaro's mother received her own stand, but her stand isn't a fighting stand. It's a stand that actually picks apart her body. It's what you call vines with thorns, pretty much, on her back, and it's killing her day by day. So the Joestars, Joseph and Jotaro, have to go out and seek for Dio to kill him and to end the mother's stand. And so they meet a couple people along the way. They meet Kakyoin, one of his high school peers, and they meet Polnareff, a Frenchman. After that, there really is no plot, so I don't really have to go much into detail. It's just fight after fight after fight, stand
Going,
after stand.
going around Asia.
Yeah, going from Japan to Egypt. Once they get to Egypt, they confront Dio Brando, and an insane fight ensues. Dio Brando has an incredible stand called the World, which has the
Yeah.
ability to stop time. And Jotaro, with an ass pull, destroys Dio Brando, ending the divine stand from his mother. and his mother's safe, and they end happily ever after. There are a few deaths along the way. Abdul died twice.
Oh my god.
Showing a very depressing death.
Nah.
And
Four people died actually.
the spunky
Oh,
dog.
he-
Yeah,
Iggy.
I forgot to mention Iggy.
Yeah. Joseph Joestar died, but then he got revived.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
in a way, all of them except for Polnareff died. Because, Jotaro had to, like, stop his heart. They all
True.
died except for Polnareff, in a way.
No, I mean, if you're gonna consider a stand a part of a soul or anything like that, so I guess like if you're gonna consider a stand as a soul, Jotaro's soul is still alive, so something like that.
So, what could we talk about part 3 since it's so simple? The fights, I guess.
No, we can't go through all the fights now.
What do we talk about?
Like we already gave a short overview. If you guys want to check out part 3, the anime's out. It's still ongoing, even though it's kind of slow. I wouldn't deny that.
I mean, it's not as low as One Piece, though.
Nah, that's true.
What do you guys think about Jotaro Kujo? Game here, though.
I think you gave him the perfect description, man. To be honest with you, there's nothing else to say. He's just a delinquent. He's not a nice guy, but if you get closer to him, he'll show your his true feelings and everything. Because inside, he's a good person, of course, because he's a JoJo. He's a good person. So in the end, he does care for his friends. He is sad when they die, and that ending, that last shot. I don't remember if it was the last shot, but when they do that, when they're at the airport and everything's over with, yeah, that was emotional. And especially
what do you guys think about Palmer?
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah, Palmer's the comic relief in this thing, and I think he's one of the only ones with character development. I think.
And if you're gonna do something like if you're gonna talk about the fights, talk about who's always the main guys doing the fights, and it's 1/4 Jotaro, 1/4 Polnareff, and the other half is just the other guys.
Death 13, I really enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, that's a team.
Oh, yeah, Death 13.
And Darby the Gambler, which is going on right now in the anime.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fight, it was just a really intense confrontation.
Yeah, it was a mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And of course the villain again is Dio, and Dio
he's not involved in the story. That's my only gripe with it. One of my biggest gripes with this thing.
Right.
It's sort of like a final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the final boss. Yeah, basically the monster before the dungeon, And I mean, what else is there to be said about Part 3? It's the most popular in North America. It's the one that's
popular in Japan too.
Yeah.
Popular overall.
I thought Part 5 was the most popular.
Nah.
Okay, so in Japan, everyone's favorite JoJo. Usually they're like, oh, Part 5, Part 3, but it's Part 3 because that's JoJo's the most popular JoJo. That's one that Japan loves.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would think Josuke would be the most popular one.
Yeah.
That's my part.
Josuke
is Araki's favorite.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
He's the
Josuke
most
is
relatable to
Araki's
Japanese,
favorite,
I think.
but Jotaro is Japan's favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Least of favorite character of Part 3?
Least favorite character.
No, I mean most favorite character.
Oh, favorite.
Favorite?
Polnareff for me.
Oh, yeah, Polnareff. Yeah, same for me.
Kakyoin because that ending speech, man. That ending speech just made me mad, man.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, man.
Man, I can't think because Part 3 has good characters all around. I mean, it's Jotaro's bland. He's just a tough guy. I like that tough guy shit.
It was
Best fighter for sure.
Part 3 was a different format for everything. It went from Part 2 to Part 2 went from just a basic adventure and everything, and Part 3 just felt different. It's I'm not gonna say it lost something, but I think you did kind of lose something because I don't know, like part two just feels different from part three in the way that part two is just like fun.
More
I guess it would say fun because you had a great protagonist who was always like rude and doing all the funny stuff and everything. And oh no, Joseph Joestar does a lot of
No.
Joseph Joestar does a lot of because he's what? He's English, right? He's
Yeah.
is he American or English? I never got that.
He's
Okay,
American.
he's English, but he was like raised in America.
Okay, so he's American. So he's like he exclaims a lot of not English terms like "oh no" or "oh my god" or yeah. So you got that, and yeah, part three just felt like it was epic. It's like they must defeat Dio. They must go to Egypt. Like it's that feeling. Part
Alright,
two
so-
was like, let's do this, yeah, let's shoot.
So-
And least
Part
favorite.
two didn't really have a formula. That's what I liked about part two. But part three was very formulaic. It's just
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like I noticed now watching second season, I'm getting like kind of bored because it's just like, well, just get to the real fight, you know.
Get to the story.
There's,
Go
I mean,
ahead,
there is
Mr. Jones.
there is 2 or 3 good fights. Like one that just happened, Darby the Gambler. Then there's Pet Shop, and then there's the World.
Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice.
No, that was just depressing to me. I couldn't even look at that. I was just like turning the pages, like, ugh, I can't do this.
Have you guys noticed that pretty much like all the JoJo's have like a time-sensitive issue?
Yeah,
Well, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Well, yeah, Giorno, I think had one. Did he had to get to Rome?
Yeah.
No, we'll discuss that later.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. Yeah. Part 1, they have to stop Dio before he rules the world.
Oh,
Part two, Cars. Part 3, Dio before his mom dies. Part 4.
Should we just wrap up
Yeah.
part three and then get to
Yeah.
part
Well,
four?
let's give a review to Part 3. I mean, Part 3, it's what it is. It's its most popular. It's the most iconic part of JoJo. But the thing about JoJo is everyone has their different parts. I like Part 3 for its first half when they're going around Asia because I learned a lot of stuff like about India and stuff like that. But when they reach Egypt, I'm like, just get to the world fight already. Like I don't really care about this. And Part 3 had that problem, and it wasn't that very charismatic as Part 2. But Part 4, now that's when I got hooked to JoJo. So let's talk about Part 4. Who wants to
give
get?
my final thoughts on part three, dude?
All right.
All right, part three. I'm gonna just get this out. It's my least favorite part, guys. It was
Oh
bad.
my
I
god.
liked it. I liked part 3, but it was just there was really once they left Japan and met Polar, they threw the story out the window until they got to Egypt. I would have liked Dio to be more involved with part 3. I really wish he just would have been there more. He was in the shadow doing his pose for half the story, and the stands. It's kind of dated in the fighting. I get spoiled with the later parts, and I would have liked more personality in the characters, but it was enjoyable for sure. But I disagree with Alejandro. The first half the fights were kind of whack, but once they got to the match and the fights were like picking up. You know what I mean?
Again,
the last fight was amazing. It's just it kind of had an ass pool with
all right.
learning how to.
Let me say something.
It's really convenient.
Let me say something. I'm a setting type of person, so the setting is what really matters to me when they're fighting and stuff like that. When I got to Egypt, I know the fights are getting really good and everything, but like just being stuck in Egypt, it got boring after a while because at least they're making progress. They're going through Asia, and it was fun at least, especially when they're in the submarine and they have that I forgot it was the bromance ship fist bump like that. Alvaro knows because he put the picture on the chat.
Oh yeah,
the handshake. And I don't know. I guess I learned a lot. I guess it was actually educational for me. But I respect your opinion, Jeffrey. Yeah. Part 2, the second half of Part 3, I guess I just needed a little bit of learning. Now, to be the least favorite JoJo, Did you find part 3 to be boring, Jeffrey?
Part 2?
Part 3, did you find that to be boring?
No, it was just very basic. There was just nothing special about it besides that last fight.
Okay.
Well, I mean, something I would like to say about it is that what's his face, Dio could not be involved because like he was, like I guess his body was his head was adjusting to the body,
Yeah,
so he couldn't really do much.
There. You're right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but then again, maybe that's just convenient writing for Iraqi.
Yeah.
Because
It is.
if he's in a coffin, I think he could have already adjusted when he got out of the
Yeah, it was
coffin.
over 100 years.
Yeah,
I mean-
how the hell did he get out of that coffin if he couldn't move his body that
Okay.
well?
Real talk. The reason Theo's the bad guy in part 3 because in part 1 there was no second coffin. The reason he's the bad guy in part 3 because Araki was like, "Fuck it, I want him to be the bad guy in part 3. Let me just write him in. I don't care what anyone says."
Basically, yeah.
Look, the reason Dio's so badass in part 3 is because of part 1 and that fight.
Oh yeah.
It was interesting though to see him more as a calm, collected person. I thought he learned his lesson, but then when he drank Joseph Joestar's blood, he became the old Dio all over again.
Yeah.
The wee and the steamroller and the muda and all that.
Have any of you guys seen the OVA?
I have
Yeah,
not.
I've seen it.
I've tried, but I kind of threw up a little bit. I'm waiting.
They skipped a lot, and they took out the whimsical, the feel. It just feels.
They took out the humor. They took out the humor because look, I understand that.
You didn't even watch it though.
I did. I saw a review. I saw a review from the anime hero.
Oh,
All right, who should be here, but I wish he was really here because I love his work. I hope I could send him the link later, but yeah, it's just basically like I already forgot what I was gonna say, but part 3 is it's its own epic story. It has its villain. It's not an omnipresent villain, of course, but it has its villain, Dio. It was interesting to see Dio again. I'll say that, but he should have been more involved, yes. But to say it's the least favorite part, I don't know about that, man.
I'll give my reasons why.
Okay, well-
we progress.
Yeah.
Okay, the question everybody should be asking is, what do you guys think about stands?
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
I
that's
love
true.
Stands.
Okay. So
You've been to the series. If
it
you've been to
went
the series,
part one, part 2 was two opposing forces. It was Hamon and vampirism. Those were the two fighting forces. And that you got to change the stance. Now, which one do I prefer? Obviously, stands, because how far can you go with Hamon and vampire? It gets old. If the parts just kept doing that, it would get so boring. So thank God for Stance, because Stance, anything could happen. It's like Nen from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yes.
Anything could happen,
that's when
Alright.
it became JoJo's once the stands came in.
Right.
Yeah.
It got hooked when it came to part 4. So who wants to do an introduction to part 4?
Alvaro should do.
Alright, because it's his favorite, right?
Alright, so part 4 follows the story of Josuke Yashikata. Okay. And he's the bastard child, Joseph. Bastard child. And it's essentially just a slice of life of just them going around, essentially eating shit everywhere in town, and it's like, oh, you gotta stand, I gotta stand, let's fight. It's just them going around eating shit, and then of course you get introduced to Ishikage Kira, and a bunch of fun things happen. A lot of fun things happen. I will say that. Lots of fun.
Yeah. It was fun. It was the most It was the most relaxing because there wasn't really ambition to control the world or anything. It was just a small town, and they just had to fix the problem with the town, And they didn't go on an epic journey to stop a villain. It wasn't like the end of the world, like some immortal person. It was just basically a serial killer who lived in the town and needed to take care of him. That's it. Of course, there was an incentive that they could all die because Yoshikage Kira, he is my favorite villain. So Yeah, he just wanted a quiet life, and he needed to get rid of anyone who was going to disrupt that. So, yeah, part four. So, I think Aro said it basically because part four doesn't have that much of a coherent plot. The coherent plot really comes in during part four. Because I remember like the beginning was just like the only reason Jotaro came there was just to tell Josuke that he was going to get a fortune from Joseph Joestar. Then Joseph Joestar comes in, and then Arrow and something like that, and then Kira comes in. So the first half of part four, it was just his own little plot, and then second half,
Oh, yeah.
not even like first quarter of the anime, and then like the rest was just Kira, you know.
Mhm. I mean, that guy was like sick.
Yeah, Kira's my favorite villain. I'll say that right now. I was gonna leave that to like after, like when we start discussing best JoJo's best villains, but I'll say it right off the bat. Kira's my favorite villain.
Yo, I think wait, didn't he come with like a photograph with like Hermit Purple that said there's like a disturbance in the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what came with the fortune shit and that.
Yeah, it was.
I found this part really relatable, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Kind of gave me a Yu Yu Hakusho vibe.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
most
Yeah, same.
definitely. Because when I read Josuke and his best bud Okuyasu, I just used the voices for Yusuke and Kuwabara. Like,
Look,
I
my
couldn't
profile
do
picture-
that shit.
my profile picture for this account is a Yu Yu Hakusho tribute with Yoshikage Kira. And
Yeah, we see it,
If
man.
anyone's a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, you'll notice it.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
For me, it was when Raimi got introduced. I was like, this is kind of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, the
Ghost,
Ghost.
exactly. And the
No.
art style too, dude. The art style.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that. If anyone was like a fan back for JoJo back in the day, they would have been like, yeah, sure, it's a little flamboyant or whatever, but it's funny because they're all buff and they're doing like poses and everything. And then part four, Josuke was buff. He even had a crooked left arm, if you can see in one of the covers. But not even middle. I don't even say the middle. I think it was like
10 chapters later, you could already see him slimming
he
down.
was slimming down. He was slimming down.
It was very gradual.
His
Very
pompadour went from disturbing to just normal. Because I don't know, man. That hamburger patty look to it, it was just weird for me. I'm like, I can't look at this guy, right?
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like Knuckles from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Knuckle
Blind, yeah, exactly. And oh my God, what is to say about Part 4? Because it just has so many characters to it. I missed it a lot.
What do you guys think about Josuke?
Okay, well, I've already given an overview, so I guess we could already talk about characters. Josuke, I think I got Josuke overhyped, to be honest with you. I'll say it right off the bat. Paul, I'm sorry, but or Avro, I don't care. He wasn't really that much like Joseph. You know, I'm gonna. I'll give it to Avro. He was a nice guy. I don't know about cutie, but that's what Avro said. But
He's a cutie, okay? He's right there.
But as intelligent, he didn't have that much personality. I'll be honest with you. Not that much personality. It's my stream. How can I leave my own stream? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Look. Okuyasu, the supporting characters, was what made Part 4 genius.
Koichi's my dude, man.
Koichi is great. Okuyasu, I don't know what people think about. I love Okuyasu.
Yes, dude, his stand is like stupid OP.
Yeah, and he's stupid. Talk about stupid. He is stupid. Yeah.
He has like the most overpowered stand, but he's too retarded to know how to use it.
He admits it. He admits that he's retarded. You know.
He was fairly underutilized, in my opinion.
Rohan. That guy's just a weird. And I'll never understand why, but for some reason, his look, he just gives me a Gaara feeling. I don't know why.
What?
I don't know. But it's for some reason. Him eating a spider just for research. It reminds me of some character.
His manga, dude.
Yeah, dude. Of course, fans started asking Araki if he did the same thing, you know. Of course he didn't, but that'd be really weird. And we got
Koichi, man.
yeah, I already talked about Koichi.
What do you say about
Koichi gets all the bitches. That's
Just one.
Oh yeah.
It was funny. He turned down Yukaku in the beginning because that was on some misery shit. Like, she trapped him.
Yeah.
She started like asking him these questions, making him eat soap. She put him through fucking hell, man.
And then they still got together, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She changed their appearance.
Yeah.
It was
We
kind
could give it a good. We could try to give an overview, but it'll take too long because so much stuff happens in part 4.
Aside from part 7, part 4 is the longest part. If we're not counting part 7.
Right.
Yeah.
What other characters? Like I said, the love interest of Yukaku.
Yeah.
She's
a psycho bitch in the beginning.
But yeah. Let's go back to Josuke. Josuke. Well, when we see Josuke, he's just. What is?
Oh snap!
This is my phone.
That
Right.
scared me, man. That scared me. Nah, but Josuke was just like nice guy. Like he could do no wrong. Like he's afraid of reptiles. Like when you first see him,
Afraid of turtle.
he's afraid reptile.
Oh,
And, whatever. We're not gonna talk about reptilia, whatever.
Okay,
But,
you know.
And
you know who's that like a scary stand? Like the rats. Remember the rats?
Dude,
oh my god.
Yes,
I thought the stand was like super scary.
Thank you for reminding me, man. After part 4, Araki starts putting rats in every part. There hasn't been a rat in part 8 yet, but I bet there's gonna be a rat one day.
Yo, man, we didn't write anything down, so we were just remembering by memory. So we gotta thank Joe, for helping us out, man. Thank you so much, man.
No problem.
All right, so Josuke's like he's scared of turtles. Like he's like, oh, hey guys, how you doing? I'm a freshman. He's more innocent than Koichi, you know. He's more sensitive and everything, but his number one attribute, his one I guess meme or something, mimic type of thing, is that this is hair.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dang. Hey, what do you guys think about why he got his hair? Who do you think that other guy was?
Yeah.
So,
Never said.
Yo, thanks for reminding us, dude.
So when I read that, and especially when I got to Kira, that he could like go back in time, I was like, oh shit, so like Josuke is gonna go back in time, and no, that didn't happen. I thought it was gonna be Josuke.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, but like because Araki forgets a lot of his own stuff, so I'm thinking Araki put that in and he forgot about it, and then someone brought it up and he's like, holy shit, forgot.
Nah. Okay, well, let's remember some of us are not completely caught up. You, me, and Jeffrey are caught up, but when it comes to part 8 is still too little. Anyways, part 4. Just his hair, because he's very sensitive about his hair, because someone from his past saved his life, and he had that same hair, so to idolize him, he has that hair. Yo, like, I could try to get that pompadour, but I'll never get it. My hair's too straight, man. I'm telling you, I don't have hamburger patty hair for that shit. But
that hair's impossible, bro.
Yeah, that hair's impossible. This is the fact. It's a wig. That could be as well as a wig. It would have been funny. It would have been really funny if we found out that was like a wig or something. But anyways,
Okay.
did we describe?
Jotaro, dude?
Did we just? Oh yeah, Jotaro is there too. I mentioned him. He said he came for the fortune. Yeah.
No, but he really stepped his game up. He really felt like a hardened veteran.
I don't know, man.
He felt like a hardened veteran.
He was the mentor. He was the Joseph Joestar of part 3 part 4, you know. And
Oh, all right.
Yo,
Dude, you have everything.
Yo, like I'm telling you, like, have we been discussing best fights in the stream? Because I don't remember.
We haven't been.
We haven't.
Sort of.
Okay, quickly. Part 1 best fight was like last fight. Part 2 last fight. No, maybe.
No, the Wham fight. Caesar
Wham
versus
fight.
The Wham fight.
Joseph versus Wham.
Best fight of part 3, last fight. So okay, now we get that out of the way. There are so many great fights in part 4.
Highway Star.
Highway Star was one of my favorite. But I really like
He does the motorcycle, dude. When you did that
Oh,
shit with
yeah,
the motorcycle,
dude.
man. That shit
Oh
was,
my god! No, but
that shit was
the
awesome,
ending,
son.
the
That shit was
ending, the
awesome.
ending was just the best payoff in JoJo history.
Oh,
Just like, oh, you're hurt. Oh wait, let me fix you up. Oh wow, thank you. Oh wait, what are you gonna do now? Oh, that'll be no
Wait,
problem then.
I forgot. How does Kira die? I
How
forgot
did?
about that.
Oh,
He turned- he gets hit by the
Kira
ambulance.
turns to a ghost. Yeah, he gets hit by an ambulance. He turns into a ghost, and then when he's about to take Raimi, he
Oh,
looks
yeah,
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know that much, but I forgot how he died because it was like
Ah.
remember like thinking about it, and was it like
Ah.
he was like, haha, I'm back, gets hit by like an ambulance, just
Yeah.
dies.
No, I think if I remember correctly, he was with a nurse. But let's, yeah, I mean, can we all agree?
Someone someone like ran over him and they're like, holy shit, you okay? Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, what type of freaking hospital they run for, man? It was
Man,
crap. They killed their own patient. They killed their own patient, man.
Yeah, Yoshikage Kira is a definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Dude, Yoshikage Kira, like I said before, is my favorite villain. Why? Because he has so many great attributes to him. He always keeps his fingernails short. He loves hands. He has an OCD. Like his thing with hands is weird.
Fetish, man. It's a fetish.
And the great thing
Yeah.
that you didn't get from part 3, that we already said before, you don't follow the villain in part 3, but when you follow the villain in part 4, it's just great. Because we see how he functions and how he just wants a quiet life. Of course, he's still an evil guy, so he must be stopped.
Hey, what do you guys think about the initial clash between Josuke and Jotaro? Like,
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
It was pretty chill.
that was fun.
No, because it's crazy. Because didn't Jotaro even say that he has a better stand than
yeah,
his stand is stronger than Star Platinum. So Star Platinum is not the strongest. Like when it comes to punches, he's not. It's crazy.
Nah,
Diamond.
it was
Really?
nah. Star Platinum.
I don't remember.
He said it was like your stand is as fast as my stand, but it's not
Yeah.
as strong as my stand. Like it can't pull punches.
I think it was strong. I don't remember exactly, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah,
But,
no, sorry. Crazy Diamond isn't as strong as.
yeah, because like freaking Star Platinum is like punching diamonds and breaking them. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's pretty intense.
Like he took out Kira in like one punch.
No, wasn't it that his stand is like harder? Like since it's like diamond unbreakable. Like Star Platinum punched him or something. It didn't do anything. I don't remember exactly, but
You're confused.
No, it was something.
yeah, I'm just confusing now. But
Yeah.
let's talk about Koichi, man. Koichi's stand echoes. Like that's we could talk about more about stands now because
This-
now the stand evolution progresses.
This
I was
motherfucker
gonna
was
say-
Gohan. He was straight up Gohan when he fought.
Yeah, he's
Gohan.
so Koichi's like an homage to Krillin and Gohan.
Yeah.
So he's like an homage to Gohan because he doesn't want to be a fighter at first and he like gets stronger later on. And he's an homage to Krillin because he's like short as fuck and like
Yeah.
everyone he's like a fucking like 17-year-old. He's like a midget, and then everyone
And he gets the hot ladies too.
yeah, he gets like a girlfriend that's like twice his size, and then like every time he beats someone,
He turned
they
into
like shrink down to his size.
Yeah, that's
Look,
a
according to
interesting
Rocky-
theory.
According to Iraqi, he's only 5'2". That's he's like what? He's a lot shorter than I am, but that's not midget size.
Yeah,
He's
not
way
midget
shorter.
size.
And his stand is pretty much Cell. The three forms, the
Yeah,
first two
yeah,
forms is
it's
pretty
Cell.
bug-like. Green.
It looks like Cell too. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's pretty much a tribute to Gohan. I just like his change. How he's like a pretty reluctant at first. He's like a scared guy, but in sheer heart attack, he really manned the fuck up.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
never
I
really,
spotted it.
But let's try to get back to what we were originally discussing. Best fight. Let's all talk about which our favorite fights are. I thought the last fight could have been better, but that's my opinion. The last fight was still great. I'll say the last fight was still great. But my favorite fight in the whole part 4 was that's hard. When they go to the Italian restaurant. Nah.
Definitely.
the fucking Josuke being like, Okuyasu, step away from the food.
He uses his own stand on spaghetti, dude. Like.
That's pretty.
On the phone.
That's okay. So see, in part 4 is when I actually started believing the stand for representation of one soul.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's when I started believing it because you know how like Crazy Diamond like can like pretty much repair everything. See, when I think of Crazy Diamond, I think of like alchemy. Have you guys seen Fullmetal Alchemist?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
Like with the way. Okay, do you guys remember when he was like running from a highway something? The one stand that follows him.
Yeah.
Highway Star, yeah.
Yeah, highway star, and he's about to like run over, hit a baby on a cradle thing. I mean, stroller, my bad, a stroller.
Yeah.
And then pretty much he like disassembles the motorcycle in like midair, and then
Yeah.
puts it back. That was amazing.
There you go. Favorite yeah, Highway Star is my favorite fight. That was just like chapter by chapter. I was just like, what's gonna happen? How are you gonna get out of this? He goes inside the hospital, and that payoff at the end, excellent. How about you, Jeffrey? What was your favorite fight?
I don't know if this could be considered a fight, but Shigechi versus we forgot to mention Shigeki. Shigechi versus Kira. Alright, the chapters before this, you hate this fucking kid. This kid's a little shit. He's cheating them out of their deal, and then Kira kills this motherfucker because he takes the wrong bag.
That was very interesting how they could
my favorite part about that was like before he dies, they're like, God, dude, fuck Shigechi, he's a little bitch.
Yeah.
And after he dies, they're like, he was our greatest comrade.
Right, man. And that's how shit is in real
No,
life.
man. What got me emotional, man, is when he was mentioning his mom and his dad. When he said that, I'm like, oh, please.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and that scene where his last piece, I forgot what his stand was called.
Harvest.
When Harvest dropped off the button in Joseph's, Josuke's classroom, and just materialized in thin air. They used that button to track down Kira, and that's sheer heart attack. Which, if I have to think of an actual fight, sheer heart attack is probably my favorite.
Yeah. I don't remember
really
that.
Intense.
I don't remember that one too much, really.
That was in the tailor store.
Koichi and Jotaro at the tailor store, right?
Yeah, man. And
then
we find out about remote stands.
Fucking Jotaro with his one-liners.
Well, I don't remember why Kira had to change his body. I don't remember that.
Because they were after him. They were like,
they knew who he was.
Yeah, they knew who he was, and like he had to change his identity.
But wasn't he like badly hurt?
He was injured. They knew who he was. He was running away, so he had to change his.
Yeah, he went to Cinderella.
Yeah.
I thought Cinderella was like kind of a filler story, but then this is pointless. This is probably skippable, but I still read it, and then the Cinderella shit comes back into play.
Yeah.
So it's pretty.
And it was the chapter before she heart attack, right? So.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, the one before. Wait, was it?
Yeah, that happened right before. Then Shigeshi, and then that.
Yeah.
Man, but
Killer Queen, guys.
none of this would have happened if Shigeshi would have just like, well, what happened? Because they exchanged the wrong foods, right?
Yeah.
The lunches. Yeah. None of that part 4 could have happened just because Kira just took more care of his food.
And Kira would have still been killing, and Raimi's
would have never been.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been
unjustified.
Exactly. And man, Raimi Sugimoto, it's kind of crazy that Rohan, he blocked that memory away from his mind.
Yeah.
I think he did that with his own stand, right? He wrote that memory out or something.
That's what made Rohan a more interesting character. Also, like when the alien guy comes, we haven't mentioned
the alien guy.
When the alien guy and they have a game of dice and Rohan's is not like Josuke, and that also plays into Highway Star, which I love.
I love how they just use their stands for other things besides fighting. Like Pearl Jam uses it to help people. Uses the alien to troll Rohan.
Yeah,
we use Harvest to steal shit and make a quick buck. Like,
man, I'm noticing we're talking about each part as long as they actually are. You know, part 1 we just did it short. Now we're talking so long about part 4.
Part 4 is that great, man. I could talk
part 4 was fun. Part 4 was fun. I didn't like it. It's
so relatable too, man.
Look, I'll say this. In the beginning, I didn't like it because it was going from like big adventure to just like whatever, anything happens. So I'm like, oh, well, this formula is not working for me. But I just got into it, and I miss part 4 so much. I can't wait till it's animated. June 2016 coming out.
Not even.
Not even.
Oh my bad. I mean, I thought of part 5. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, part 5. Part 5.
Yeah, I was like, no.
No, man, because we got 2 more years. We got 2 seasons of part 4. If they don't cut anything out, if they cut anything out, dude, I'm not even gonna watch it.
I think my favorite fight of part 4 is Josuke versus Rohan and the alien when they're playing the dice. Dice game.
He's such a
That's like a
fucking
filler
troll.
fight though. But yeah.
I was
Such a
like-
troll, man.
Yeah.
No, remember Cheap Trick? That was a good one.
And then like
You can tell
Rohan's
that a
house
teenager
catches
was
on
using
fire.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like only a teenager would use a stand for something so immature as to trolling someone you
Yeah,
know.
and like getting
Make-
money or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was when like his character was funny. Josuke's like, oh, I'm not doing anything. What about you, Jojo? What do you think about what's your favorite fight? JoJo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I don't think I have one.
Nah, they're all too good, man.
Remember the one guy? Remember the one stand, for example, like this one stand would like attach to like someone's back, and if someone saw it, you would die or something.
Yeah.
Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
Trick. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Cheap Trick.
Yeah, Rohan should have killed the guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like
Rohan is
because it was
crazy.
like I'm not trying to say like the last one because like I mean that's kind of expected. I'm not trying to like use that one.
Look, I'll tell you why I kind of maybe I did reread the last fight and it was still really good. But you know what I wish it could have happened. And I already told the two other guys, but I'll tell you all three of you now in the audience. I wish that all hope could have been lost. Like they're all gonna be defeated and everything, and then Kira just mentions Josuke's hair, and then Josuke just goes
Oh.
Super Saiyan, whatever would happen, anything like that. That would have been fun because after like it was how many chapters since they mentioned his hair? Like that was like when he beat up Rohan, and then the hair thing didn't come back ever again.
True.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Think about Joseph in this part.
Here's the thing, because I guess it was the rise and fall of Joseph. 'Cause
He was so senile, man.
Yeah, he became more senile. Yeah, exactly. But it's not bad. He still has that one little moment when he finds the baby through the lake by using his blood. That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Pretty manly.
that was touching. That was really touching when before the atomic baby Achung baby arc chapters. It was nice to see like after Red Hot Chili Peppers fight and Josuke's like he doesn't want to deal with his father or anything, and then he helps his father go walk with him. I mean that was nice. That was really heartwarming to me. I'm like that's good writing on Rocky. That's really good writing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So part 4, man. Part 4 is what like that's when I thought keep going. Rocky can do no wrong. Rocky can't do no wrong, and then part 5 happened. So okay, so let's talk about part 5. This is getting
I think
controversial.
this is a good point for me to go get a little break, go get some food, use the bathroom or something. So I'm gonna leave you guys discuss your part 5.
I need
gotta go to the bathroom too.
Oh my god, we can't just take a break during the live stream. Bro.
No, you guys keep going. I'm gonna.
No, but Jeffrey, I was like, okay, fine. Me and J-Jo, okay. All right.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
What do you-
What do you think ever happened to the baby?
That's true. Well, it says in the ending, it says that they adopted him. Joseph Joestar adopted him, and if you remember that cat that turned into a plant,
Yeah.
that thing was given to the father of Okuyasu. You remember the one who's like a mutant?
Oh yeah. Dude, that was so disgusting.
Dude, yeah, that guy.
I got goosebumps when I saw it. I was like, oh. What's
Yeah,
this?
him and the cat become best friends. They say that in the ending. And the ending of part 4 was just kind of heartwarming too, because it was just like, I guess it was the final pose with Josuke like that, and it was a good. I liked it. I liked part 4 a lot. What do you think about part 5? What's your feelings towards part 5?
I mean, so far, outside of part 7, because like I really like part 7 right now, but I'm only halfway through. I think part 5 is my favorite.
All right. Well, you could be on Jeffrey's side on this because me and Alvaro, me and Paul, if you're gonna call him Paul, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not big fans of just part 5.
All right, dude. What?
Okay.
I mean, I always feel kind of bad. Sorry to interrupt you, but before we move to part 5, I mean, I
Yeah.
always feel kind of bad about like Josuke's mom because she really, really loved Joseph. Like you could tell, for example, when like Jotaro went to her house. When Yotaro went to her house, she thought it was Joseph. I was like, ah, dang. She was like waiting for him.
Yeah.
And then
It's I did not expect that from Joseph Joestar. I did not.
I mean, to me, I kind of did,
Yeah, he's a fun-loving guy. He likes to do anything, but like to cheat on his wife, I did not. I don't know. Whatever, whatever. At least he did show care towards Josuke a lot, so
Yeah.
that was good. He did care about his son, his bastard son. Whatever. It doesn't really make him a bastard. I mean, just because they weren't married, but whatever. If you're gonna talk about bastard, the weirdest relation is Giorno Giovanna. Who is-
That's like beyond comprehension. Like,
Because when I first saw him, I'm like, wait a second. So Dio's blood got into him because he's blonde, right?
yeah.
I'm like,
No,
what?
he's not
He's
blonde.
because of the stand.
Yeah, I know. He's not. Then I found out he's not blonde. He was black-haired. So he was like he was Jonathan Joestar. Because for all you don't know, Dio came back because he was using Jonathan Joestar's body. That's how he came back. Yeah. So it was Jonathan Joestar with a Japanese woman, and then he left towards it for Italy, and then stuff like that.
Yo, Jonah must be the weirdest looking person in real life. Like, if Jonah was real, he'd be blonde with Asian eyes and this swirly ass pine cone fucking whatever you call that hairstyle going on.
Right. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna click you as a percent to everyone so we can all see your screen.
Giorno Giovanna.
So why don't you
Right.
give since you love this one so much, Jeffrey, or any of you guys, you or JoJo, if you guys want to do an introduction to Part 5, an overview, because I'm just gonna prepare my insults. I'm gonna write them down. I'm gonna write them down.
Do you like it, Joy, or do you want me to do it?
Whatever you guys.
you go for
Hey,
I
Joe.
think-
Hold on, Joy loves Part 5. It's his favorite part.
I like
mean, so
part 5.
far.
the goodies. Wait, yours is part 5, your favorite?
I mean, cause like I'm only halfway through Part 7, and I really like Part 7. But I mean, yeah, so far Part 5 is like my favorite.
Oh, go for it, man. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like the thing is that I read it like a long time ago. See, the thing is that Part 6 kind of like got my interest away from JoJo. Then I was like, what happened to it?
Yeah.
So I don't remember much about it. Like I just like remember like the big idea. Like you should go for it, Jeffrey.
All right, I guess I'll do this. All right.
Here we go. Here comes all the fanboys.
So we started this off in Italy with our boy Koichi Hirose from,
Good part. That was the good thing about that one.
Good point. I forgot about that.
from JoJo Part 4. I stopped screen sharing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You do that.
But you're doing the introduction, so go.
All right. So we have our character, our beloved Koichi from the previous part. Rohan wrote in his journal to learn how to speak Italian, and JoJo sent him to search for his long lost relative, who is like what Alejandro said previously, a descendant of Dio Brando, a Japanese woman, but Dio Brando was using a Jonathan Joestar's body, so it's his
Biological.
yeah, his biology, whatever. So Koichi finds this guy, but this dude just trolls Koichi, steals his suitcase. He's confronted by this mobster called Likai Luca. Likai Luca starts confronting Giorno Giovanna, who is 15 years old, by the way. And he punches Giorno, but Giorno materialized a frog out of nowhere. And that frog, whatever damage is done to that frog, gets done back to the other person. His stand is to create life. That's Giorno Giovanna's stand. It's called the Gold Experience, inspired by the Prince album. So Giorno kills, Likai Luca causes his own death because he punched the frog. So his boss, Bruno Bucciolati, goes and searches for his killer, which is Giorno Giovanna. And Bruno Bucciolati, he looks like a girl. All the guys in this part look like girls, except for Giorno, pretty much.
I think except for I think the
I
only
got
one
you.
that doesn't look like a girl is Norancia. He doesn't look like a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
David on here.
No,
Mr.
No, I
Mr. looks
was
like a guy.
Mista, except for his sandals.
What
But
about Abacho? Whatever.
Mista,
oh, no.
I mean, Abaccio, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but his art style changed because Abaccio looked like a girl in the first beginning when you see him, but then he turns like bulkier.
Oh, by the way, Jeffrey, he didn't punch the frog. He hit it with a shovel.
Oh, shit. Even worse. So he hits him with the shovel. He fucks himself up. He does that to himself, right? So
Yeah.
Bruno goes looking for him, and Bruno does the gayest thing in the entire series next to Polnareff and Apple pissing in the same hole. He licks Giorno's face and says it's the taste of the liar. So Giorno defeats him. He's pretty impressed, so he wants him to join his gang. But first, he has to be hazed in by one of the main members called Polpo, this big ass fat ass. So Polpo, he pretty much tells him to he either he has to hold on to a lighter and have to have it lit for an entire day.
Guido.
Have it, he has to have it. Polpo means octopus.
Yeah, all the names in part 5 are just Italian.
Italian names for animals, yeah,
Yeah,
or
Polpo, right.
for food, basically.
So he holds on to a lighter, but the light went out. When the light goes out,
Hey.
his stand, Polpo's stand, Black Sabbath goes out and it's a shadow. Koichi explains to him what a remote stand is, so he outsmarts that stand. So he goes back with the lighter lit. He's fairly impressed. Polpo, Black Sabbath has a stand arrow. It hits people, and it's supposed to see if he could recruit new stand members. So he outsmarts Black Sabbath. He goes to Polpo, and he gives Polpo. Polpo takes a banana or something like that.
Yeah.
He turns that banana into a gun. He kills Polpo, and he pretty much gets into the gang. He meets the crew, which is Guido Mista, the one I showed you previously, Leone Abalcio, Narancia Gurga, whatever, and Fugo. And we progress the story, and their main mission is to get
Protect the
Polpo.
mafia
No,
star.
No, at first it's to get
his fortune.
no,
Polpo's fortune.
oh yeah, it's Polpo's fortune, yeah.
So all the gang members, even other gang members, are in search of Polpo's fortune as well. So
Look
they're
at
attacked
these
by other gang members, and
Look at these guys.
yeah, these guys are just straight up homos. This is when it becomes this is when it becomes Homo's Bizarre Adventure.
This is when it becomes fabulous. Nah, but look, man, like, you don't have to say the whole overview, and Jeffrey.
shit,
I
I'm
know,
sorry,
I know you're a fanboy, but like,
Look,
come
Okay,
on.
wait, guys, wait. Okay, if you had to like dress something like that, which one would you dress? Which one would you pick?
Dude,
honestly, like
Like you have to.
I'm
Giorno
Mista,
or
Mista,
Bruno.
dude, Mista. I'm
Or
sorry.
Mista. Or even Fugo, dude. Okay, honestly, if you were rich and you could afford any clothes, tell me you wouldn't dress like that all the time. I would dress like that all the time.
Hell,
Really?
I'll just like
Oh
Joker.
man,
I just
just
like
like
go out in the
JoJo's.
street and I just be like that like all the time.
but you need the figure for it, man. You need the figure for it.
I mean, you want to talk about figures?
Ah,
All right, so let me just speed this up. So they go to the fortune, and it turns out
who is that? Who is that?
So,
Oh, JoJo.
so
yeah.
it turns out that the fortune. So it turns out that the fortune. Once they get to that place, they are met with another task to protect the daughter's the boss's daughter and bring it to the boss safely. The daughter's name is Trish Una, so it's pretty similar to Part 3 with the stand after stand format, right? So once they get to the boss's location, they fight this. Well, before that, they do this amazing fight, Grateful Dead, probably the greatest fight I've ever read. So they finally get to the boss, and the boss's true intention is to kill his daughter to delete all traces from him, because the boss is just really trying to keep his identity secret. So once that happens, the plot shifts. Instead of working for the boss, they're against the boss. So they're on the run from the boss. So the boss is sending all of his top agents against them. So it ends. So they get chased. Bruno's basically half dead because Giorno's gold experience doesn't really heal him. It kind of keeps him alive. So let me just skip to the end. They get to the Colosseum. They meet with an old star, Polnareff, and Polnareff. He has a stand arrow and it unleashes Gold Experience Requiem, which
That was good.
which pretty much takes everyone's stand to a whole nother level. At the end, they're in a confrontation to who could get the arrow. Is it the evil boss King Crimson or Giorno? Giorno gets it, beats him with kind of an ass pull, not as bad as the Part 3 ass pull, but it was an ass pull, and he destroys him with one punch, giving him a satisfying death, which he pretty much dies in an infinite loop, death after death. He just keeps experiencing death infinitely, and it ends
Until
up
the
with
end of
Giorno-
Part 6.
and and it ends up with Giorno and Giovanna, what's it called? Him being the leader of the mob at age 15.
After a horrendous flashback. Anyways.
It was a flashback that kind of foreshadowed Bruno's death.
Alright, you can stop screen sharing. We can do this now. I'm ready. I got my list here.
Wait, guys! I have to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. When Popo, I think Popo, the whole purpose of people going to him to try to join was because in order for like someone to join, I guess they only wanted stand users. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody was a stand user. For example, like if like the flame of the lighter got extinguished, the stand will come out, and I believe the stand had the arrow, right?
I don't think everyone was a stand user though, because Leaky Eye Luca was a part of the Passion gang. So I don't know. He didn't have a stand, or at least he didn't show his stand. But
he probably just held on to the lighter. He probably the lighter.
Yeah. That's impressive. So you gotta give props to Leaky Eye Luca. Shouts out, man. All right.
Going a little long. Dude. I was just fanboying, man.
Yeah, you were just going on for like eternity. All right. So we got 2 versus 2 here. We got 2 who think Part 5 is great.
Underrated game should be here, man. I wanted to beat that guy.
Whatever, man. We got the best reviews right here. And we got me and Alvaro or Paul to talk about why it's bad. I don't know Alvaro's position really, but I don't think he thinks it's that great. Part 5. What do you think?
Me?
Paul. Yeah, Paul.
So, for me, Part 5 was just wasted potential, in my opinion.
Oh.
So, because you have Dio's son,
Mm-hmm.
you have the Mafia, you have arguably the best character designs in JoJo. You have so many things that could have made this the best part, but it just, like, Araki didn't give a shit, I felt. Like,
yeah. It was just aesthetic. It was aesthetic, but no substance.
So like, yeah, Dio's son. Like, come fucking on, it's Dio's kid.
Yeah. He even says mura, you know?
And he does nothing with it. He's just like all Giorno does is oh man, like someone else is fighting. I'm like, I'm in trouble with a fight, and Giorno's like, you could do it. And they're like, thanks, Giorno. I beat it with your help. Nothing. I didn't do anything. It was all Giorno.
I also found Giorno to be bland.
Jojo, Kaka.
Yeah, so then like Giorno was bland, all that stuff. Honestly, the saving factor for Part 5 were the supporting characters. That was honestly like the best part for me. That's why I kept reading it, so just mainly because of the supporting characters. And Part 5 really ties into nothing. And I think the worst part is how when you read Part 6, Giorno, Giorno just becomes less significant as to what he is. I mean, I could get into that when we talk about Part 6, but yeah. I think you guys know what I'm talking about with Giorno becoming less significant. Because it's just, I don't know, Part 5, because Giorno easily has my favorite, like, JoJo character design. But
I don't know,
it's just I don't know. For me, it was just wasted potential. They could have hit every right note, but they didn't.
All right. Let's go to the other side. Let's go to the other side before I demolish these guys. Go.
Well, I want to address something really quick.
Okay.
I mean, on the grand scheme of things, well, the JoJo scheme of things, Jordan's not really relevant due to his like birth. You know, for example, he was born into like a weird position. Yeah. He is the biological son of Jonathan Joestar. You know, he's actually like his real father is Dio, due to the fact that he was the one who like did his mom pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think it's like relevant. You know, I mean, how did Jotaro find out about him? I forgot.
It was like a whole DNA thing, and he's like, and he sent Koichi, and he's like, hey, we gotta.
No, because Jotaro found out that there was a bunch of children from Dio. Because there is actually other Giornos. But this is what comes into my thing. What makes a JoJo? And then what makes a JoJo is you have to have the Joestar bloodline in you. And you gotta have your 2 names to rhyme with JoJo. Simple as that, really.
Wait.
His name isn't even Giorno Giovanna. His name's Haruno Shiobana.
But he
Yeah, he
changed. He
changed it.
changes it.
He
to
changed it, so it's
Giovanni
not
Giovanni.
even-
Yeah. No, but like even then, like in part 5, it doesn't tell you that Dio has other kids. It's just like he.
That comes in part 6.
Yeah.
So
No, and
there's. I mean,
I'm gonna talk about that when we get into part 6 as to why I thought that was like the worst thing ever.
I think
yeah.
Joy, you
Yeah.
should school these guys. School these guys and tell them why you like Part 5.
Well, I mean,
oh,
like personally,
man.
I like it a lot because it's like Italy, like a whole different setting, Europe, and then like the way the characters from like the crew got like developed, like Mr. I mean, that's just me. That's what I'm into, like the adventure
Alright.
thing.
Yeah.
But we've been to Italy before. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but like barely, it was more like Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like all of Italy.
Like
And then,
how,
like, the way
like how Jeffrey fanboys over part 5, Iraqi was fanboying over Italy for part 5. You know?
What Part 5 is kind of like Part 4 and 3 combined in the sense that Part 4 was just one city.
Oh my
Part 3
god.
was the entire world. It was like a world tour traveling. So they were traveling not through a city but a country. So it was kind of self-contained, but it wasn't at the same time.
Okay. Say what you want. Say what you want. Really. Okay.
Is that all you have to say why you like it, Joe?
I'll probably think of something later because it's been a while since I read it, so I don't remember like the details.
Alejandro,
Good night, 6.
all right, come on, give me this work and I'll close this off.
You see, wait.
Bad thing.
With whatever Alejandro says, I'm gonna be like, no, that's
Oh
not
my
true.
god. Finger on the trigger, Alvaro. Be careful.
Oh, I'm fucking faggot, Alejandro. Come on.
Alright. Fact A. Giorno is boring.
Oh.
There you go.
All right.
Fact B. Boring fights. And fact C. The ending is trash.
What? Dude. How? I mean, Diablo is like in an endless loop, He's always going to keep dying.
I will say the last fight was anticlimactic because it wasn't really a fight. It was a confrontation.
And it came
like the last fight. The best fight was in the middle of the fucking series for some reason.
No, it was a flashback. The last fight was a flashback with a guy with a ball.
Oh, Rolling Stone? That was kind of sad to me.
Yeah. No, that was
kind of
like
depressed me, man.
Man, let me tell you something. It's just like aesthetic, no substance. Giorno was bland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can say Jotaro was bland, but at least Jotaro,
Was a dick to his
showed more feelings at least. But you only
mom,
maybe
you're a bitch. Mom, you're a bitch. It's a lot of feeling, right?
yeah. Showed admiration for his own daughter. Anyways,
That's part six,
if maybe Iraqi actually did show Giorno in part 6, it could have been better. I could probably see more Giorno, like him as like a leader. But other than that, he's just an idea, really. Because the only thing about him is his dream. I mean, what else can you say about Giorno? What other aesthetic can you say about him? Like, what other personality trait?
What other personality traits can you think about Josuke or Jotaro?
Josuke, because he's a nice guy and you don't talk shit about his hair.
And
He likes
talk shit about his mom.
he likes to make money. He's a nice guy,
Well, Jordan's a pretty
Jonathan
nice guy. He wants to clean up the streets of his country. He doesn't want the people to fall into the life of drugs. He doesn't want people to suffer like other people have. And he just wants to bring order to his country. That's kind of noble, like Jonathan is. Jonathan was very noble, and it was pretty noble of him to want to bring the mafia and make it into something.
Well, he is the son of Jonathan Joestar,
Exactly.
technically.
All right, what's your next point, Hunter?
All right. I'll say the good things.
I thought you're counting.
Yeah. You're just.
So
Wait,
Doppio.
you like it or you don't?
Doppio. I do not hate every part of JoJo. I do not hate any. Not at all. I love them all. It's just that it was my least favorite. Good things about part 5. Doppio. Ring, ring, ring.
That was.
Oh,
do you think
dude,
the phone
that was
call was all in his
weird.
head, man? Do you think the frog phone and the rock phone was that all in his head, or do you
Yeah, that was probably all in his head.
No, but like, what I found fascinating is the way how his body switched, transformed, from like a kid
Oh yeah, like
to
it
like a grown
actually
man.
transformed.
was that
yeah.
part of King Crimson? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, Alejandro. One of his biggest complaints. He probably forgot about his complaint. His complaint was how confusing King Crimson was. What do you guys think about King Crimson?
So for me,
I think it's like, oh, yeah, go,
um,
Paul.
yeah, the reason I think King Crimson is it's confusing is just the translations. That's my theory. It's just it's badly translated. So I'm probably gonna reread Part 5 once the good translations come out because like I actually want to like read it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Alright.
in the end, I never understood King Crimson really. I was like, so for me, what it was, it's like he sees what happens, like 5 seconds into the future,
Mhm.
and then he could like edit it. Like he could be like, okay, so I have to move this way. That's what I thought it was. But
Yeah.
then like Giorno and like the rest of the gang would be like, did you guys feel that?
Yo, guys,
Oh, like,
are you guys,
time to erase.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My thing froze or something. My internet connection went bad.
He chops
Oh.
time. He cuts time. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but so like it was like, okay, so I could do this to prevent this, or I can't prevent this, so I have to like take it. So I was like, okay, so he sees into the future and then he edits it. But then it got to the point that it was like,
He
who was
cuts it. He also he cut
Yeah,
out.
he cuts
Yeah,
it.
no, but like that, it was that, and then like I thought, so at first I thought I was like, okay, so he knows what he foreshadows, but then like later on, like Jonah was like, you guys feel that? I feel like time to erase.
Yeah, I thought he cut the time for. Wait.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
this is how I think it works. For example, like let's say, at some point in time he gets like stabbed. For example, he can like cut that part of it, that event. He can like pretty much remove it. He pretty much like cuts time, like you said. So he can like remove an event out of like happening. Does that make sense? And that way he's pretty much like able to like. I mean, he's just like he said it's like super OP. That's all I can say about it.
Look, here's
Yeah.
here's all you really need to know. But if you want the fine details, I don't think you're ever gonna be able to find them in English. But here's all you really need to know. He predicts what you do. Apparently, he cuts. I think was it 6 seconds?
Yeah, 6 seconds.
6 seconds of your time. So he experiences what you do, he erases it, and then redoes it. That's kind of what I think.